Mindfulness. What pictures come to your mind if you think of this word? Maybe someone sitting cross-legged in an ashram somewhere in Asia, somewhat blissed out, maybe even a bit otherworldly. So here's a surprise. I'm German, I'm an industrial engineer. I'm working with SAP, the world's leading business software company with more than 80,000 employees. And I'm the director of the global mindfulness practice. So my team and I, we are dedicating 100% of our time to roll out mindfulness, to train it, and also to practice it ourselves. But it's not just our team, it's actually thousands of employees who are practicing mindfulness in different ways throughout their workday in the office. And it's not only that these employees are really happy about that, it's also that we can measure sustainable business impact. We have clear data that this is supporting the company's financial success. So, how many of you are somewhat surprised that mindfulness is such a big topic in a global tech company? Please raise your arms. How many of you are somewhat surprised? Well, quite a few, and also somewhat not anymore, so this proves Berlin is very progressive, and it also proves my case that this is a revolution. So this skepticism, I heard this a lot, and I'm hearing this a lot in my work from my colleagues, and this can be in the way to explore a very useful mental training for your work and your life. And actually, I can very much relate to this. 10 years ago, I was already with SAP as a project manager, being responsible for international projects. It can be quite stressful, and what I did to decompress, to relax, is I did a lot of sport, running, cycling, swimming. And although I sometimes was wondering that it's actually my mind that is in charge how I relate to external events, not my body, my trained body, I was wondering, how would it be if I could train my response to the external of my mind? It didn't occur to me that mindfulness, meditation, could do something about it. To be honest, I even made gentle fun of my girlfriend at that time. So she was a meditator, and I was thinking, yeah, you can do your yoga and your meditation if you need it. I do my triathlon. So, and then something happened that completely shifted my view on that. Sometime later, I found myself in a life crisis. I had lost my ground, my stability, and I was looking how to gain my ground again. And a good friend of mine was recommending, Peter, why don't you go on a 10-day silent meditation retreat? I was very skeptical, but also curious. And he is a good friend, and I trusted him. So I went there, I found myself in this meditation retreat, and I had quite some resistance in the beginning. I mean, this means for 10 days, you have no cell phone, no talking, no writing, no journaling, you're just with yourself. It's quite intense. And then something remarkable happened. My mind got calmer and calmer, and I noticed more subtle feelings in my body. I got more in connection, and I got to a deep sense of calm and clarity. And I found something like my inner compass, a very clear inner sense of my inner world, where to go and what to do, inner clarity. And this experience was so profound to me that I continued meditating. Although I did not speak about this in public, so I became one of these, we call them the closet meditators, so it's like hidden. You do this, but you don't talk about it with anybody, specifically not in the corporate world. But I realized in the next years that this is really helpful. My capacities in managing digital projects, so leading in the digital world, was increasing. My capacity to manage, to surf the wave of overwhelm, to deal with conflicting emotions, to deal with conflicts with others, to center myself in stressful situations, when there's a lot of information coming, when you need to make decisions, to center myself and to be able to distinguish, okay, this is important, this is essential, other things not. I noticed I became more clear, and I also became more joyful, because I was better able to deal with this challenging world. And people told me, or I would summarize, so I became more clear, and my mental strength was increasing. And this is what I also got mirrored from colleagues, so that I became stronger in my leadership capacities with this mindfulness practice. And then slowly the idea got bigger. Why don't we try to find ways to bring this to our company? And so the question was how to bring this to a global tech company with that many employees. And to be clear, at that point of time, I knew 2 more people that were meditators, so there were 3 of us. And there was a question, is this just our personal little particular interest, or is this something bigger? Are we just some lone nuts, or is this something bigger? And I started having conversations with any senior executive I could find who could be a potential sponsor to try this out, right? And I heard a surprising response. The response was, Peter, you know, I would do this. Mindfulness-based trainings for emotional intelligence and increasing mental strength sounds intriguing. But you know, the company is not ready. Surprisingly, I heard this same answer again and again and again in Germany and in the US. So I thought, maybe the company is way more ready than we all believe, than we all know. Maybe we're just a little bit too skeptic about this. So I started with the other people, a grassroots initiative. We brought a 2-day training program to SAP. But before I go there, I want to ask the room again. How many of you can relate to this? I would be interested in this. Sounds intriguing, but my organization, my environment is not ready. Please raise your arm if you can feel about the same, yeah? Quite some people. So here's good news for all the skeptics. This is how it looks like 4 years later. So all the blue dots are places where we're running this 2-day training classes. It's a course called Search Inside Yourself, so you get more in connection with yourself. And all the green dots are places where we have local mindfulness groups, where people in the offices practice together, different types of mindfulness, sitting, walking, mindful lunches, and many others, where they have peer groups. So by now, we have trained, or by the end of the year 2016, we have trained more than 3,500 people all around the world in more than 30 locations. And even more amazing, we have a waiting list of 5,000 people. It's a bit of a positive problem to have. So I have my boss in my neck, makes this wait list smaller. And even more amazing, so the question, is the company ready, is clearly answered. It's way more ready than I would have believed in my wildest dreams that this gets such a resonance. Even more interesting, we gathered very particular data, HR data. We looked at 1,300 employees, and we compared them, their performance data, with a control group, randomized, similar in geographics and certain other measures. So that's a real control group. And we can see that we have a significant increase in employee engagement. We have a significant increase in leadership trust index. So people trust their leaders better. It's an index we are measuring. We have a decrease in absenteeism. And I'm sorry that I can't disclose the real numbers, but I can tell you we have a solid business case behind that. And we have, in conservative terms, a return on investment of more than 200%. So we are earning money with this program. It's contributing to our bottom line. It increases our competitive advantage. So it is a radical trend in our organization. Very successful. And so how did we actually do this? How did we bring mindfulness to a global organization? Looking back at this, I see a pattern of 3 necessary steps. The first one is, and I talked a lot about this, there are many skeptics. Mindfulness, yeah, others can do this, maybe not me. Find a way to shift the skeptics at least to curious skeptics, that they become curious, maybe I want to try this out. Second one, once they're there, create an aha moment in their body that they notice, actually this feels good. And their mind too, of course. And lastly, once the aha moment is given, create a habit. Help them to create structures in the company that support creating habits, that you shift the way how people interact with themselves and with the others. So you shift the habit and you shift the culture. So let's look a little deeper into that. How to make skeptics more curious. Of course, very important is language. Keep it in the business environment secular. Avoid any spirituality, any touchy-feely, any esoteric things. Keep out religion. Keep it secular. Keep it safe for the skeptics, that they feel, oh, I want to try this. That is not too touchy-feely. Science can help a lot. So neuroscience is a vast emerging topic. Thousands of studies are proving that mindfulness has profound impacts on your well-being, on your social and leadership skills, and also on your cognitive abilities. So if you talk about that, people become more interested. Science is kind of the religion of our days, right? If science is saying it, people start looking at it. Then make sure that you also talk about potential and not just of curing deficiencies. What do I mean by that? Often, mindfulness is just being put in the field of well-being. Yeah, it's for the ones who are not able to cope with stress, right? And this is not too attractive for high-performing people who feel like, I don't want to be soft, I want to really be able to have my grip. So these people you attract more when you make some understanding. This helps you in increasing your potential. This makes you actually stronger. Good example, if you look at, in sports, if you look at Novak Djokovic, one of the world's leading tennis players, and he is claiming in many interviews that one of his key practices to be so successful as a tennis player is meditation. It helps him actually. If he senses an emotional arousal that he is, between sets he is losing, within seconds, he can ground himself, he can reset his emotions, he can center himself. And this is, of course, a very important leadership quality, that you can ground yourself, that you're in contact with yourself. Lastly, for curiosity, what's important is that you keep it voluntary. Make it a gift. Don't force it on people. Make it as an offer, and the people who would like to do this, they will come. And then it might have a ripple effect to others. Don't enforce it, people, and not everybody might be interested. So that's okay too. Make it available as a gift for the ones who are interested. And so what is mindfulness actually? It's actually nothing very special, nothing you need special environments for. It is being present in the very moment so that you direct your attention purposefully in every moment, that you're in connection with your sensations and that you're not on autopilot and just not being connected with your senses. And let's give it a little try. So you don't need to be somewhere sitting cross-legged, you don't need to be in special environments. We can do it just now like you're sitting here. So everybody, how do you know you're breathing? Where do you notice you're breathing in your body? What do you sense? With a sense of curiosity, as if you have never looked inside, where do you feel you're breathing? Where's the air floating? Where's your body moving? Okay, and now please shift your attention back to the speaker in front of the room, purposefully. How many of you feel a slight shift in your groundedness in your body after this short breathing exercise? Please raise your arm. Quite a number, maybe 80%. Isn't this amazing? You shift just for 20, 30 seconds on your breath and you feel, oh, this does something. So this is a segue to creating aha moments, that you have it. It's not something intellectually, you feel it in your body. Supportive for a good embodied aha moment is that you do on-site classes, that you do it in a group, that you have a transformative group experience. Important is that you have skilled teachers. And ideally, in a business environment, teachers who have business background and who have a solid meditation experience and education. And I'm saying this because it's becoming a buzz topic, and many people starting to teach this. So if you hire a teacher, look at their background. And then, lastly, create a habit. So after the aha moment, bring this into your life. It's like within sports. You know doing sport is helpful, but just knowing it and not practicing it does nothing to your body. It's the same with mindfulness. Just knowing it, but not practicing it, is not making any difference. It's something you have to practice. And your mind is literally changing. And this is an actual picture from SAP in Palo Alto. These are 3 of my colleagues. So one of the key topics is to integrate it in little ways in the company. So what we do is, for instance, we start meetings with 1 minute of grounding, centering. And there's science again behind this, that you are more productive. You're more, it helps you to create better results. So create little integrated ways to bring this into your company. And we have a whole array of that. So the good news here is you don't have to go on a 10-day meditation retreat. You can, here and there, a minute of attentive breathing or even one conscious breath a day is a good starting point to become more mindful, to become more present. And lastly, to bring it into a global organization, create community. Identify multipliers who are as passionate as yourself to bring this to the organization. And we have by now 24 certified teachers worldwide. We have about 50 volunteers and ambassadors in different locations. And next to our big wait list of 5,000 people who want to come in the class, we have also long wait lists for the supporting roles. Means within SAP, it has become a revolutionary trend. And this is what I can see in my work with teachers all around the world, that this is becoming bigger and bigger, and I think this is good. Our world needs this. Today, November 8th, we see this, that it helps the world if people are better able to regulate their emotions and make skillful answers in certain situations. Let's hope. And the question is not anymore if mindfulness will come to your organization. It will come. The only question is, will you be an early adopter? Will you use this for the competitive advantage of yourself and of your organization? Or will you hop late on the bus? There's more to come. Thank you.